Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Holistic Healing with Deepshika, the space where we explore the many facets of healing, mind, body and spirit. Today we are diving into a topic that affects every one of us, stress. We all experience stress in our daily lives, but what we don't often realize is how much of that stress we may be creating ourselves. Today we are going to talk about stress in all its forms, including the self-inflicted kind, and how we can take control and elevate its impact on our well-being. Stress can be a silent companion, one that sneaks up on us during our busiest days, and sometimes even in moments of rest. But the good news is, just as we have the power to experience stress, we also have the power to manage and even reduce it. So let's explore how stress shows up in our lives and what we can do about it. Stress is the body's natural response to perceived challenge or threat. It triggers a fight or flight response, releasing hormones like cortisol and adrenaline to prepare us to act. In the short term, stress can be beneficial. It can heighten our senses, improve our focus, and even boost performance. However, when stress becomes chronic, it can take a serious toll on our mental and physical health. There are two main types of stress, acute and chronic. Acute stress is short-term and related to specific situations like a deadline at work or an argument with a loved one. Chronic stress, on the other hand, lingers for long periods and is often tied to life circumstances such as financial difficulties, health problems, or long-term relationship issues. But beyond these external stressors, there is a less talked about but equally important type of stress, self-inflicted stress. This is the stress we create through our own thoughts, expectations and choices. Whether it's perfectionism, negative self-talk or taking on too much, self-inflicted stress can be just as harmful as external sources. It can also be because we have forgotten how to just be. And when there are times when there isn't much happening, we start stressing about why we aren't busy or engage our brain into creating work rather than just relaxing. Let us understand this kind of stress better. Self-inflicted stress is the pressure we place on ourselves. It often stems from internal expectations or beliefs that what we should be doing. For example, if you're constantly pushing yourself to meet unrealistic standards, or if you are overly self-critical, you are likely creating a significant amount of your own stress. This kind of stress might not be as obvious as the stress from a demanding job or financial worries, but it can be just as damaging. One common cause of self-inflicted stress is perfectionism. Perfectionists set impossibly high standards for themselves and are often plagued by fear of failure. Even small mistakes can trigger intense stress and anxiety, leading to burnout over time. Similarly, people-pleasing tendencies can create stress. When you're constantly worried about making others happy or being liked, you might overcome it, take on too much, and stretch yourself too thin. Another form of self-inflicted stress comes from negative self-talk. The way we speak to ourselves can influence our emotional state. Constantly telling yourself I'm not good enough or I'll never succeed can increase stress and create a negative cycle where your self-doubt feeds into your anxiety. Then there's the stress of overscheduling or multitasking. In a fast-paced world, we often feel the need to juggle multiple responsibilities at once. While being busy can feel productive, it can also lead to overwhelming stress when we don't allow ourselves time to rest. Another kind of self-inflicted stress can stem from seeking validation from external factors rather than from within ourselves. When we get a sense of validation from outside, like our work, relationships, etc., we often tend to put ourselves in situations where we are under stress. These habits and thought patterns often go unnoticed because they have become ingrained in our daily routines. But recognizing them is the first step towards change. Now let's explore how to manage and reduce both external and self-inflicted stress. Managing stress starts with awareness. By paying attention to your stress levels and identifying its sources, you can begin to make changes that will help you regain control. Here are some practical strategies to manage both external and self-inflicted stress. Mindfulness and meditation. Mindfulness practices help us stay present and aware of our thoughts and feelings without judgment. Meditation, even just for a few minutes a day, can help calm the mind and lower stress levels. It's about creating a space where we can observe our thoughts rather than be consumed by them. Next is setting boundaries. Often we create stress by saying yes to too many things. Learning to set clear boundaries, whether it's at work, in relationships, or even with yourself, can reduce stress. It's okay to say no and protect your time and energy. Next is challenge negative self-talk. One of the most effective ways to reduce self-inflicted stress is by challenging the negative stories you tell yourself. Replace thoughts like I'm not good enough with more constructive and compassionate self-talk like I'm doing my best and that's enough. Sometimes stress arises from feeling overwhelmed by the sheer size of a task or project. Breaking tasks down into smaller, manageable steps can make them feel less daunting and help prevent procrastination. We are often our own harshest critics. Practicing self-compassion means treating yourself with kindness when you make mistakes or fall short. It's about accepting your imperfections and recognizing that you're human, just like everyone else. And last, take time for rest and play. Rest and play are essential for reducing stress. Make time for activities that bring you joy, whether that's reading, painting, or spending time with loved ones. These moments of relaxation and fun are critical to keeping stress in check. And of course, make time for digital detox. Let it be normal to want to get away from digital devices once in a while. While stress is a natural part of life, building resilience can help you handle it more effectively. Resilience is about bouncing back from difficult situations and learning to cope in healthy ways. This might involve developing a regular self-care routine, building a strong support system, or practicing gratitude and mindfulness. Resilience doesn't mean eliminating stress entirely, but it helps you navigate it without becoming overwhelmed. Remember, you have the power to influence how much stress impacts your life, especially when it comes to self-inflicted stress. Tension is a habit. Relaxing is a habit. Bad habits can be broken. Good habits formed. By William James. And with this, we come to the end of this episode. Thank you for joining me on this episode. Stress is a part of life, but it doesn't have to control your life. By being mindful, setting boundaries, and practicing self-compassion, you can manage both external and self-inflicted stress and live with greater ease. If you found today's episode helpful, please subscribe and share it with someone who might need it, and leave a review. And remember, taking care of yourself is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Until next time, stay calm and take it one breath at a time.